Hey there, everyone. It's GG Sober Son. January 18th, AA Thought for the Day. The new life can't be built in a day. We have to take the program slowly, a little at a time. Our subconscious minds have to be re-educated. We have to learn to think differently. We have to get used to sober thinking instead of alcoholic thinking. Anyone who tries it knows that the old alcoholic thinking is apt to come back on us when we least expect it. Building a new life is a slow process, but it can be done if we really follow the AA program. Am I building a new life on the foundation of sobriety? I'm building a new life on the foundation of recovery. It's a different animal. It's got to be. Because just being, I call it, without recovery, abstinence from alcohol is stark raving sober. Stark raving sobriety. And it's no bueno. The doctor's opinion, as I've said before, says that we are restless, irritable, and discontent until we can again experience that sense of ease and comfort that comes after taking a few drinks. Drinks that we see others taking with impunity. But when we succumb to the desire, as we often do before recovery, we go through the well-known stages of a spree, emerging remorseful with a firm resolution not to ever do it again. But we go through this over and over and over again, unless we can have an entire psychic change, as it says in the book. Complete psychic change, an entire psychic change that comes from taking the steps, from going through the steps with someone. It's tough to do on your own. And in fact, if they would have handed me the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous at my first meeting, I would have thrown it on the shelf with all the other self-help books. I needed to see it lifed out through you, through other people in recovery that I identified with because of we drank alike. You know, the ideas, emotions, and attitudes were the same. You were willing to disclose these mistakes that you made while drinking or not drinking. Just you were willing to share your mistakes. And up until that point, I had only ever been told, don't talk, don't think, don't share, don't tell. And I had a lot of secrets. And so when other people were disclosing their problems and their solutions, that first part, their problems, made me uncomfortable initially. But when I came back and I saw that halfway around the world, in a different meeting, they were doing the exact same thing, I felt at home. Meditation for the day. I will pray daily for faith, for it is God's gift. On faith alone depends the answers to my prayers. God gives it to me in response to my prayers because it is a necessary weapon for me to process, to possess for overcoming of all adverse conditions and the accomplishment of all good in my life. Therefore, I will work at strengthening my faith. See, there's that word again, work. And people say at the end of the meetings, usually after the Lord's Prayer, keep coming back, it works if you work it. Work. You know, they use that word a lot, you know. And it kind of bothers me because compared to what kind of work it took to get drunk and stay, buzzed, the steps are nothing, really. Like I said, I just, and I don't know how, because I wasn't a great student. Now I know why. I mean, I had undiagnosed ADD in elementary school, and felt a lot of shame about it, and shame that I wasn't a good student, a C student at best. Later on in life, I learned accommodations, but I don't know why I never really looked at the steps as an academic undertaking. It was just, I saw you all seem to be comfortable in your own skin, and I wanted that. I wanted what you had. And only, I heard this, only in AA can the statement, "I want what you have," be a good thing. But I saw you all seemed to feel comfortable in your own skin, and I had no idea what that was like. And so the more I hung around, the more I found out that the people that I was really drawn to in the rooms, because of their serenity, and that word wasn't even in my vocabulary until I came to AA, they were doing the steps. They had done the steps and were helping other people, and they had a sponsor, and their sponsors had a sponsor had a sponsor, and that kind of stuff. And they were doing their daily routine, getting up, praying, reading, doing a reading, getting to a home group meeting. And they, when I was ready, I'd ask somebody, "Hey, can you show me how to do this?" And they were all too willing to do so. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may. So let me go back to the word work. For me, it was more, recovery has been more about letting go than it is about working or grinding. Because I was told all my life, just work harder, grind. And the spiritual life is not a grind. It's a relationship. And if you had a relationship with someone who kept telling you, you got to work, you wouldn't want to spend time with them much. Obviously we have a work relationships and supervisor subordinate type relationship, probably why I've worked. I've been my own boss for quite a few years now, but if I had a relationship, a friendship, and somebody just kept giving me tasks to do for them or whatever, telling me I need to do this, I wouldn't want to spend time with them. So it's more about letting go of old beliefs and old behaviors, and then the quote unquote work just becomes a natural next step. No more work than it is to feed yourself, or drink water. So, prayer for the day. I pray that I may so think and live as to feed my faith in God. There you go. Feed. I pray that my faith may grow, because with faith, God's power becomes available to me. To me, it's more about trust. Am I going to put my full weight on God's lap, basically? That's that old saying, or that old story about the guy who walks the tightrope across the Niagara Falls, or across from the Twin Towers when they were still standing. The guy walks across, he walks back, and he carries different things back and forth, and this a bystander is on there, and is asked, "Do you believe? Do you have faith that guy can carry people across on that tightrope?" And the guy goes, "Oh yeah, he's proven it. He can carry just about anything over there." And so they're like, "Hey, well, why don't you get on this chair and let him carry you across, or climb on his back and let him carry you across?" And that's a completely different story. There is faith. He has faith that guy can carry things across, and but trust is being willing to put my full weight on God. That to me is more than faith. And my pastor a couple Sundays ago said, if you're really trusting God, then you have at least one person in your life who can tell you the truth about when you're going wrong. And I like to think I have a few. So I hope that's a good sign. And I definitely, you talk smack too much in an AA meeting, and somebody's going to pull you aside and say, "What in the heck are you talking about?" And I shared the story about the guy who was coming to meetings pretty regularly, and I gave him a ride, and he said he's running for president, and just went on a long sort of monologue about the government and everything else. And then he was like, as he was getting out, he asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "I don't know you very well, but you sound kind of insane." I figured, what the heck, what the heck do I have to lose, really? And maybe I could help this guy. And that's not like me. I'm not a believer in the quote unquote 2x4 of truth. I'm usually a cheerleader for people and tell people, hey, you can accomplish anything if you put your mind to it, right? But this guy's living on a boat and riding a bike around town and talking about running for president. And yeah, I don't know. Anyway, need to have those trust. You need to have trust in God and demonstrate that trust. Reach out and let people into your life. Keep coming back. Look up, aim up, rise up. Love you.